But let's go on
Yes.
to some volume profiles by request and look at your top charts this morning while you guys are adding your aluminum deodorant in your Amazon shopping carts. Hey, speaking of Amazon, we did have a request for Amazon. We're going to take a look at that. Shout out to Pipe or Pips. Not Pipe. Sometimes it autocorrects and I get your name wrong here. Amazon. Hey, I love this chart. Looking very bullish, Amazon. Nice retake of the point of control. Amazon making its way up to 110.93. I know Mark Sebastian is going to be very excited that I'm bullish on Amazon. Let's get to TWOL. Delia asking about TWOL. Another nice, beautiful bullish chart here. Okay, beautiful bullish chart. To be fair, I'm not cheating. This is a gap fill. All right, so yes, I'm looking at the volume profile as well. There is a major gap to be filled. As everyone knows, gaps can be filled. So there's that little, tradition when it comes to charting. But again, it's filling the gap. Slow and steady wins the race. Nice little upside target, 65.55 in Twilio. And we're going to get to a big shout out to Mark Sebastian with our beautiful bombshell yesterday. We had a bombshell bear. Mark jumped into the chat after a kinetically confirmed trade with my man's Joe Contes from Tom Gentile's team. Mark came on. We did a bonus trade that we like to do in Trade the Close, the bombshells, where we bet if the market's going to go up or down in the last 10 minutes of the trading day. I know Mark is going to yell at me, so I'm going to put the futures on so I don't get yelled at. And let's just find where my closers were yesterday. Here we were. This had to be us right here. All my closers, we were right
wick,
here.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, and you got that big wick into the where we
it was gorgeous.
Hang. Yeah,
Mark, we absolutely flushed this, and I know that it's such a fun trade, trading those last 15 minutes or just betting if the market's going to go up and down at the last end of the session there. But I will tell you, if anyone in the chat made money on our bombshell bear yesterday, give me some money signs in the chat. Throw Mark some money signs. That was one of we saw someone made 85%.
We bought the 4,015 puts for 25 cents. Sold them at 60.95 and $1.50. Had 3 expire worthless. So when you do the math on that, you made some pretty good money. You ended up making about almost $1,000 on $250 on a $250 bet, which was pretty nice.
Wowzers. Well, this is how we do it. And yeah, that was amazing. $1,000 trade. And we do have Boston Mini giving us some credit as well in there. Mark, we did go over Amazon, Twilio. Before we get on to your big money flow, anything looking sexy for you for a trade?
Well, I like Amazon long term. That's kind of a more long term buy back out in the leaps. Twilio, I think you have to be careful with this one because of kind of everything Garrett had to say. The day before the Fed, I don't think is the day to jump into a high beta name. But if you are so inclined and you insist, you say, Mark, I know Twilio. It is going to go much higher. Sure. Okay. All right, let's go for it. It's the 60-65 call spread is going to cost you about $1.25. Just buy that, and that'll take you up to the point that's for the February 10th contract. So Feb 10. So a week and a half, you buy the 60-65 call spread for $1.25 if you're so inclined to play Twilio, which I am not.
So inclined. I like how Mark says it. If you're so obliged, much obliged for
I've
Twilio.
got my big poofy turtleneck sweater on, so I have to be extra fancy.
You do. You are extra fancy right now. Hey, Marco, you have a big IQ and you have some flow to match it. What are you seeing there?
Yeah, this was interesting. We saw just a massive amount of paper in IQ yesterday. They were kind of all over it. They were buying Feb regular 7.5 calls. They bought the 8.5 calls. They did the June 10s, the April 10s. They were kind of all over the board and essentially straight buying just about everything. And that I thought was kind of interesting. You can see the stock did take off.
Yeah.
Because as we ran up, this thing just kind of ran as the
God
day
damn.
progressed. And so there were a lot of traders jumping into this one. This is one I actually think Kenny should keep an eye on. This one. It might get. I mean, look at the size of that candle. This thing might really move, and they are 100% set up for it. Long just a boatload of the Feb 7.5s, some 8.5s. There's actually 60,000 of the Feb 10s open, and you've got pretty decent volume on those March 10s, April 10s, and June and out to September. I mean, this thing just blew up yesterday, all call volume. So this thing could potentially run.